So, lesson 2. The living entities are evolving through various species, transformations of the body. Every living body in this material world undergoes six changes: birth, growth, maintenance, production of byproducts, chemicals, offspring, diminution, and destruction. These are the six stages. Okay? These changes happen to all living bodies, whether they are plants, animals, or human beings. For example, a child is born, grows into youth, remains young for a few years, produces a child, gradually ages and finally dies. We cannot stop this by our so called material science. Sometimes people foolishly think that by scientific advancement, human beings will become immortal. We cannot even stop these six changes in the body. Where is the question of stopping death? So, complete and perfect knowledge of evolution. So, Darwin's evolution theory is an imperfect understanding of the real spiritual evolution, which takes place by the transmigration of the soul from one body to another. Originally, the living entity is a spiritual being, but when he decides to enjoy this material world, he falls down from the spiritual world. First, the living entity accepts a body that is human in form, but gradually, due to his degraded activities, he falls into lower forms of life, into the animal, plant, and aquatic forms. But the gradual process of evolution through 8.4 million species of life, the living entity again attains the body of a human being and is given another chance to get out of the process of transmigration. If he again misses the chance in the human form to understand his position, he is again placed in the cycle of birth and death in various types of bodies. This is complete and imperfect knowledge of evolution, which is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 29th chapter, and 2nd verse. And it is also explained in Padma Purana. So, what it says: जलजनवलक्षानि स्थावरलक्ष्यविंशतिः क्रमया रुद्रसङ्ख्याका पक्षीणां दशलक्षणं त्रिंशाल्लक्षानि पश्वाः पाशवः चतुष्लक्षानि मानवः. So the meaning of it, or the translation is, there are 9 lakh species of aquatic life and 20 lakh species of plants and trees and 1.1 million species of insects and then 1 lakh species of bird life and then 3 million species of beasts and 400,000 species of human life. So the meaning of species understood by biologists is different from the meaning implied here. The meaning of species used by biologists applies to the gross physical appearance or the gross morphological feature of the living material bodies. The Vedic meaning, however, is based on the level of consciousness of the living being. For example, biologists say that all human beings belong to one species, where the Vedic literatures list 400,000, that is 4 lakh human species. In other words, there are 4 lakh grades of human beings on different levels of consciousness. In the lower levels of consciousness, a living entity, although in a human body, behaves just like an animal. In a higher level, his consciousness may be slightly evolved and he may be selfish for his family. In a still higher level, he is concerned about his community than about his state or the country. At a higher level, one may become an altruist or philanthropist, and after many lifetimes, one starts to inquire about God. The living entity still develops several conceptions about God in many, many lifetimes until he comes to understand that Lord Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrendering unto him is the highest goal of life. To stop the repetition of birth and death in the different forms of life, we must transcend the covering of material nature and come to the platform of pure consciousness. But if we do not learn the transcendental science of Krishna consciousness, then at death we must transfer to another body, either better or worse. That depends on our present body and its actions. That ends the second chapter or lesson. Thank you.